So smart home. This is the topic. So we have discussed about the smart cities. Okay, smart cities. What are the components are there, and what areas we have to concentrate. So those all things we have seen. Like some things we discussed: smart parking, smart homes. So some this different things we discussed. So some now coming to the smart home. This infrastructure it consists of intelligent networking device infrastructure and seamless integration of various devices using wired or wireless technologies. Okay, so it allows ease of use for household systems and creates a highly personalized and safe home space. And corporations seriously indulging in smart home systems like Cisco, Google, Microsoft, and other companies. Okay, so these companies are now they are working on build smart homes like things. The home automation is there, right? So those things they are trying to make work better manner the things which we are having home. So those things they are working on those things to make it more smarter. So when we talk about smart homes, we are talking about the integration of I told you here in the smart home, smart cities, and intelligent connected vehicles. So like in next we are going to see industrial internet of things. So in these things we are going to talk completely. These things are possible. These things we can make it smart by using information and communication technologies. Okay, so we have to integrate these things to the existing things, then it is the void smart is possible. Okay, let us consider a scenario in a home. Like we take some scenario, like the example we have some room 1, room 2, room 3, and room 4. Okay, so different rooms we have, and we have different sensors at each room. Okay, basically deployed in different places, and some actuators as well. Okay, so other types of, and it has also have some other types of devices, like we can say NFC devices, or I can say some, we are just think we are using Z Wave for home automation. Some Z Wave, it is a protocol. Okay, so maybe it have, so with the help of this communication things, these devices are able to communicate with each other. Okay, because we are placed sensors and actuators, some NFCs, and some Z Wave communication protocol, some Z Wave devices we used. So the things, what are the things with these things we placed at the different rooms of the house. So all the things can be possible to communicate with each other. Okay, so you are just suppose you think you're sitting in some room and you want just in this smart homes and smart cities, we are just talking about the robotics. So robotics, so what happens, you are saying something to that robot, like you need something, it will go to the fridge and it will take something and it will warm up something and it will give you back. So these all things can be possible, and if anything is not like out of the things, out of the item, so it will send message to the particular person or particular machine to outside. So these all things are possible in this. So we see smart home, it provides productive and cost efficient environment and maximizes the effectiveness of occupants, provides efficient management with minimum lifetime cost of hardware and facilities, and optimizes structures, systems, services, and management interrelationship between the above three. Okay, so it completely work on these things like structures, systems, and services, and management, like the services and everything, how to manage those things, and the structures and the systems, like when we are having the small sensors, like small devices, like with not without having much hardware. Okay, so we having in the small size hardware, it is like more efficient, right? The power consumption will be low and the lifetime will be more, so using is also very easy, right? So next thing, smart home aspects. Okay, here smart home aspects, if you see here, we can see the four aspects here we can see. So communication network infrastructure, this is the essence of smart home. And next, intelligent control and management, sensor networks, smart sensor features, and automatic response. So these all aspects are included in this smart home concept. Okay, so just here I want to talk one thing. It's just you have personal area network, okay, and you have local area network. Personal area network you can use for short distances, right? So local area network you can use for the larger distances. So but for coming to this smart homes, we need in between these two things. So that is a special network which we are using for these things, is a home area networks, okay. This is in between the personal area network and the large area network, okay. So it has some elements, and it has standards, it has architectures and initiatives. Any network it will have, okay. So we are just talking about the elements and the standards and architecture initiatives of this particular home area networks, okay. This network contain, this is a network for home smart homes, okay. So some smart home we can use.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
Suchit is waiting. Can you please let him in?
Yes. Thank you for letting me know.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So it enables remote access and control of devices, because we need some network, right? We have our devices has to connect with the network, okay. So you see the you learn so many topologies and so many local area network, metropolitan area network, and wireless wide area network. So different things you learn, right? So what is the use of that network? You are connecting the devices in that particular network, right? So here we are connecting our home devices and everything in this network, okay. So smart home, that just not a word, okay. Behind that so many things are there, okay. So here we are using for this home area network, okay. It enables remote access and control of devices and systems, provides various systems within a home, like security systems. It provides the communication and home automation systems, personal media and the communication, different things, okay. So HAN elements, okay. HAN in the sense home area network. First thing we are talking about the four things we discussed, okay. The elements, coming to the elements, we have internet protocol, okay. IP, here we are first element is the internet protocol, multi protocol gateway, bridges non-IP network to IP network, okay. So through this gateways, multi protocol gateway, if we are using, we can build non-IP network and as well as the IP network, okay. So bridging between new technologies is limited. For new technologies or networks, a new mapping is required. For bridging to perform satisfactorily. Like here, in this, what is happening? Non-IP network we are using and the IP network we are using. Okay. So coming to this, it has two things: wide WAN we have and the wireless WAN we have. So we can connect the devices with the wide WAN, wide HAN we can use, or wireless HAN we can use. Okay. Coming to the wired HAN, easy integration with pre-existing house infrastructure, low cost, okay, can use power lines, coaxial cables, telephone lines, optical fibers, and other such technologies for communication. Okay, so this is basically we can connect the devices and the things whatever existing at the home. Those things we can connect in two ways. One is a wired and other one is a wireless. Okay. So wireless can use popular home Wi-Fi we can use, or Zigbee, or even new standards such as 6LoWPAN. Okay, so these things we can use. Our wireless makes implementation easy. So this is the classification. This is the classification of HAN, home area network. Here, if you see the diagram, home area network communication and networking. Here, this is the things are possible like wired and wireless. We can connect. So coming to the wired, you can use the electric. So before in the description we discussed, right? Those things only in the in the presentation. So electrical lines or telephone lines or optical fibers. Okay, so just think home plug, Ethernet or instant or extend. So these things, different things are there. So we can use. And wireless, battery operated. Wireless in the sense it is having battery operated and battery free. Okay, battery operated, no energy harvesting is there. And here coming to the battery free, energy harvesting will be there. Okay, so here Z-Wave, Wi-Fi, 6LoWPAN and Zigbee, or here N-Ocean for this example is. So next we have some standards for HAN, universal plug and play. Okay, So we have some standards like US universal plug and play. This is application layer technology, mainly web based. This one, okay. So TCP/IP protocol stack provides support for the lower layers and enables seamless integration of various technologies. Provides transport networking with support for zero configuration networking and automatic discovery of devices. So this is just one thing you remember. This is mainly web based, and this is the application layer technology. Okay, next standard, if you see GLNA. Anybody saying? Yeah, yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, lot. So many people are absent. I'm seeing very less strength. Okay. I'm really feeling very bad to send the less attendance. Please, you can join more, right? You are not wasting your time. You're listening some lessons. So I don't know why you people are not attending the classes. So
Ma'am, few of them have exams, ma'am.
few of them are having exams. What are the exams? Okay, supplies or anything?
Yes, ma'am. I guess
So
supplies are running.
okay, okay, then okay, no problem. Okay, so we are discussing GLNA, right? Digital Living Network Alliance. Like, it's a trade organization created by Sony, Intel, and Microsoft. These people created this as a trade organization, which they created. It connects cable-based networks. It connects the cable-based networks with wireless networks for increased sharing of media control and access. Domestically shares network media sources. And next standard we have is connects like an open important standard for home and building networks utilizes the full range of home communication infrastructure, power lines, coaxial cables, twisted pair, and must be set up and configured through different wireless, different software before its proper usage. And next we have local operation networks, LONWORKs. So every device includes a neuron chip, a transceiver, and the application electronics. Neuron chip is a SoC with multiple microprocessors, RAM, ROM, and IO interface ports, and it splits devices groups into intelligent elements which can communicate through a physical communication media. So here basically we should not get confused, like what is happening, to connect the devices there are different things. Okay, there are different types of devices, there are different types of things are there. So it has some standards to connect the devices, right? Each and everything is having the different functionality, each and every standard which is working for the different functionality. Okay, so based upon that we have to keep it in mind and we have to use the particular standard. That's it. Okay, so here next is Zigbee. We have the Zigbee. Zigbee consists of 4 layers: physical and medium access and network and the application. Physical and MAC layers are defined by IEEE 802.15.4, whereas network and the applications are defined by Zigbee. It mainly aims at low cost and low energy devices. Okay, so Zigbee, why this Zigbee we use for, it is more faster than the Bluetooth. Okay, it can connect better than, and you can use, I can say better advancement to the Bluetooth. Okay, the Zigbee. So this we use for the short distance. Zigbee Alliance is composed of Mitsubishi and next to Honeywell and Invesys and Motorola and Philips. So these are things. Next we see Extend enables remote control of complaint and transmitters and receivers over power lines and electrical rings present in the house, adopted by GE and Philips. Different companies are adopting this kind of standards. Different companies are proposing these standards for home area networks, like because these home appliances and everything are made by different companies. So all the companies, different companies are working on this to make, to provide the better services in a better way, like in the according to the smart home. Like you see there, these people are working on different standards. Here the different standards, different standards are given by the different company people. Okay, so this is the best advantage for them, like in a business, to develop such kind of appliances. Standard defines procedures for transmission of bits over AC carrier signals. low speed and data rate, mainly used for control of lighting, appliance networks, and security sensors. Okay, so we come to the home area network architecture. In this architecture, it has two things like Domonet and Genie. So first we are talking about the Domonet, okay, which is highlighted in the red. You can see this is, we are talking about this. So it uses a XML for description and web services for control, follows a service oriented architecture, not tied to any software language or architecture. Its central gateway connects different technologies, and a tech manager for each technology provides web services for control and access. So if you see this, Genie, it connects various devices sharing their resources with auto configuration and auto installation. It is based on Java environment and pursued by Sun Microsystems, now Oracle. Actually, Sun Microsystems is now with Oracle, right? So Genie apps use bytecode to run the JVM. So it has a different architecture. It's a Domonet. It has and it has different things like Genie. So different architecture we have to work with this. So based on the requirement, we can use this is actually based on the Java environment, and this is like it follows the service oriented architecture, the first one, and a central gateway connects the different technologies in this. Here, if you see it, constructs an organized distribution system without a central node actually here. Okay, so these are the different things are there based upon the requirement, how the way we want to connect the things. We can use a particular architecture. Okay, based on the appliances and the requirements, we can choose the architecture of hand. You will connect the devices right in the mesh topology, ring topology, right? So in such a way, this home area network, if you are using this, you can connect in the Domonet or Genie. Okay, in these two architectures, we can connect. I think you understood. So we next go on to the next topic, the industrial IoT. So we came to the end of this topic. I don't know. No. We didn't come to the end of the topic. We have so many things. Sorry, guys. So here, this is the hand architecture. Okay. So I was thinking that I just came to the end, but not. Okay. So we have some of the things. These are the architecture. Okay. So next things, hand initiatives. So we have the project Hydra and Amigo. We have so middleware for embedded intelligent systems. This have project Hydra, which is based on this hand. Okay. So this is a middleware for embedded intelligent systems. Connects a service oriented architecture network. Connected devices maybe have limited resources and low processing power, memory, or energy consumptions. Each device has an embedded Hydra client which acts as a proxy between the device and the middleware. So we can understand here. Okay, so this is a Hydra protocol stack. Exactly, it looks like this. This stack, what are the things it contains? This stack, it contains it helps to this project, this Hydra project. This is developed with the home area network. Okay, so it connects the first architecture, which for this project they use the first architecture. The first architecture is the Domonet, right? They used this one. So we see how this project they implemented. So first if we see the Hydra project. Okay, so to connect the devices, to connect the home appliances in the home, like to make it the better smart way to work. So we see how the things are connected and what actually the structure inside it looks like. So in this stack we have physical layers. In that physical layers they used Bluetooth, Zigbee, wireless local area network, etc. And next thing, the operating systems, they used the Windows. In the second stage we have Windows, and operating system TinyOS. TinyOS is the operating system for sensors. Okay, the most popular operating system which is used for the sensors is the TinyOS, and the Hydra middleware we have, and the applications. Okay, I think you all understood these things. But here Hydra middleware, what is this Hydra middleware? This, if you see in the second diagram, this Hydra middleware, it has a application elements and the device elements. Okay, and apart from those things, it has a 3 layers: semantic layer, service layer, and the network layer. Okay, so these all things, each and every layer, it has a security. Okay, yeah. So next thing, we have the next initiative of hand. Okay, some initiatives, like if something new started, we will have some projects, right? So those things we are talking now. Amigo here, it is mainly aimed at ambient intelligent systems for network to home systems. It is, and features user-friendly interfaces, interoperability, automatic discovery of devices and services. This project mainly works on these things. They worked on these things like features, user-friendly interfaces, and interoperability, and automatic discovery of devices and services. These are the initiatives which started using home area networks. Okay, so this is about the smart home, smart cities, so many things we discussed. Okay, so next thing, now we are talking about the industrial IoT. After this industrial IoT, again we have one more topic. Not only industrial IoT, we have one more topic, smart grid. Okay, so the two topics we have, smart grid and industrial IoT. Today I cannot finish the two topics. I can finish only one topic. I hope so I can finish this topic, but I don't know whether I can finish. So guys, so I thought I can finish your portion by today itself, but it's highly impossible for me. So we,
Excuse me, ma'am.
yeah,
Sorry for interruption. Actually, I had a doubt from the previous topic.
yeah, sure. We can move on to that. Smart
Ma'am,
homes, right? Smart homes, smart cities, right?
home area network, ma'am.
Home area
I was,
network. You want me to
I
go to
had,
that?
no,
You want
it's
me
okay,
to?
ma'am.
It's okay. Yeah,
No need to
you.
go for presentation. I just had a main doubt that
Yes.
we have personal area network and local area network, and
Yes.
you said IoT is going to implement home area network. That's what you have said now, ma'am.
For
So,
connecting the devices in the home. Yeah. Mm.
yes, ma'am.
Mm.
So, we can directly say it as a personal area network, no, ma'am, because in the home itself there is a single router, and that router is connected to different devices in our home itself. It is personal area network,
Okay.
and home area network is the one which connects the each and every device in the house itself, no, ma'am.
Mm.
So, what is the
Why to
main
go
difference
for home
between
area
home area
network
network?
and the
Yes,
okay?
ma'am.
Just tell me one thing. Personal area network. Till what range you can connect?
Personal area, it's up to our house itself, ma'am. It depends on the,
Not even
like,
house. You take that smart home I'm talking. So it house in the sense you cannot describe that, if you're in some other floors. Okay, in house some floors will be there, and like some houses may be big, or so if you want to do such thing, so that distance is not enough, right? So just you try once you are down and you want to connect to the some top floor or something. Okay, just so it is highly possible, right? With that network, highly impossible. I think so. What do you
uh,
say? So it should not be
there
very
are
large. It should not be small. So very, this is a very comfortable thing they can use for the home automation. Okay, yeah, tell me.
like, ma'am, there, according to my thing,
Hmm.
I have a router which has a dual band Wi-Fi, which has both 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz connection.
Okay.
So when it comes to 5 gigahertz connection, yes,
Hmm.
it will it will not move even out of the flat also.
Hmm.
But when it comes to 2.4 gigahertz, it moves up to three floors now.
Hmm.
Like, even when I'm standing in the cellar itself, also I get the Wi-Fi range now.
Hmm.
So, madam, doubt is, if a network has that range,
Hmm.
and it is a personal area network, we can directly opt for that. Then what is the main difference, ma'am? That's what I just needed. Like, is that a speed? Is that a network? Or what else is the main difference between home area network and personal area network?
I told you one thing here. So I told you in this. Okay. So here you are talking the personal area network. Personal area network is a wired or wireless?
Wireless, ma'am.
wireless. But in the home area network, what you can do, you can connect the devices wireless, you can connect, and wired also you can connect.
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm? That is a one advantage. Okay. So here
Yes,
you
ma'am.
can see, here you can use, as you told, like you said, right, short distance we can use, you said, like Bluetooth or some Wi-Fi, some Zigbee, these kind of things you can use, you said, right? So
Yes, ma'am.
not only that, here we can use the, easy integration we can do with the wired hand. Okay. And we can use the power lines, everything we can use. Okay. So with the wireless you cannot connect everything, right? So some things need wired connection. Okay. So you can connect, telephone lines, you can use here power lines, coaxial cables, and telephones, optical fibers. These all things you can use. Okay. And next thing here, if you see, this is uh, it has some more security compared to this thing like personal area network, and it provides to the more range. Yeah, you spoke about the range, like you can, so it has some limitation, right? It has a limitation, you can connect to that particular place. But if the situations, we cannot think the situation all the time, like like you have some restriction in this particular thing you can use, right? So but when you are going to this hand, it has more advantages coming to this thing, like I said, in the intelligent connected vehicles, right? As I said, in the intelligent connected vehicles, when we are using this artificial intelligence in the vehicles, so it is, we can avoid the collisions, we can avoid the crashes, so many things I said, because the vehicle itself, it can get the information what are the things are coming, and other vehicle at what distance it is, if any person is coming, at what speed he is coming, so those all information it will know. So the things makes different in the IoT. So that is the reason everything that, everything they are defining things, like here we are using information and communication technologies, so it is embedded with the different things. Here we are using electronic sciences, here we are using some computers, everything we are using. So these are making the things smarter, so we need some different topologies, we need some different networks. So I told you, it is having a different topology. Okay, if you are talking about the Bluetooth and everything, so our Wi-Fi, if we connect, so that is just normal. Okay, there is nothing new. So if you hear what is happening here, here the devices we are connecting wired and wireless we are connecting, if you see here, and some things like battery free and battery oriented, and we are using the wires also. So next, so here one advantage is like no energy harvesting, and we have some energy harvesting. So different things, different options we have, and we have some standards, and the companies are using these things to connect effectively the things. And some things are like, here here we can use the, here when we are working with these kind of things, I told you right before, here ambient intelligent systems can be used. There you cannot use the artificial intelligence, how the devices can connect, how the devices can talk. So here you can use the intelligent systems, like here what you can do, each and every device you can make it connect with each other. Okay. So in this network, like even the wired things also can connect, and everything you can make it possible. So you can draw some conclusions, like without human intervention you can make it possible, the things, like if you are not there, you are not performing any task, the thing it will get thing like, I have to off the things, or some robot is there, so the persons are not there, the light is on, just like that, the robot, it has to do the thing, so it has to perform the task. So for those things, this kind of networks are better. Like in the smart cities case, I didn't speak about this thing, right? So but here, like based on the home appliances and all, so we can use this, like all things are wireless, it's not possible. So sometimes we can use these things, and it is not like all the things are in this some particular, there is, I think because of this restrictions, they implemented this home area network, because it has a restriction, like it has, things has to be in this particular range. But here you have some freedom to keep the things, and you can connect, and even you can operate. So if you want to operate from beyond the range, you can operate, I believe that.
Got it, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we can talk about this more as well. And we just do something like we see those things are not practical things, right? So just some projects I told you. So we see the things like if any things are there, we can discuss on those things. Even I'm also more interested to know the things more. So okay, thank you so much for asking me, and so I will know more information about that. And okay, so now we come to the topic is industrial IoT. Okay, industrial IoT. So one definition we see which as given by Paul Howard. So this is a person from Cisco. IoT as a concept has crossed the chance from slideware to reality with many industries implementing IoT solutions. So what it means, IoT is no longer confined to theory, a hype based notion, no longer like that. Okay, so it is being used in reality in industries. In industries, what is happening? Different IoT solutions are being implemented in the industry for solving different industrial problems to make industrial process much more efficient than the way it is at present, right? So in IoT, we are particularly focusing on industrial systems and industrial automation and enterprise system and product life cycle of enterprise planning. Okay, these are the things we are concentrating. Okay, so this is the thing we are talking here. In the reality, what is happening? There are different IoT solutions, different things are implemented in the industry for solving the different industrial problems to make industrial process much more efficient. So that is the meaning of this. Okay, so if we are coming to this, the main aim of this Internet of Things, first we are talking about the Internet of Things to globally connect smart things or objects. Okay, and objects are uniquely identified because each and every object which is connected to the internet, it is having the unique IP address, right? So interoperability among the objects. So this is the main thing IoT is working on, that because heterogeneous devices are there. So interoperability among the objects. These are the main aim of Internet of Things. So the industry, now comes the topic industrial IoT. The industrial Internet of Things is an application of IoT in industries to modify the various existing industrial systems. So IIoT links the automation system with enterprise planning and the product life cycle. So this is mainly focusing on the enterprise automation and planning and the product life cycle. Okay, so but just IoT, if we are working with the IoT, that is just working at the consumer level, but this is working at the enterprise level like planning and the product life cycle. Okay, so we see this is a industrial IoT as an intersection of industries and the IoT. So this industrial IoT is a combination of Internet of Things plus Industry 4.0. Okay, so it borrows some features from the existing IoT and plus some of the features from the vision of Industry 4.0. So these all features it is combining and it is making as a industrial Internet of Things. Okay, here we have one thing like Industry 4.0. We know Internet of Things, but here we have Industry 4.0. Industry 4.0 basically gives a framework for automation and data exchange in manufacturing technologies and cyber physical systems, the Internet of Things and cloud computing, and it makes the smart factories possible in the industries. So with the Industry 4.0, so what actually does Industry 4.0? It gives a framework for the automation and for data exchange in manufacturing technologies. So we see in the next slides, we can understand. So this is the thing we know, and this is the next figure. If you see apart from the first one, if you see the next diagram, in this industrial Internet of Things and Internet of Things. So as I told you, this industrial Internet of Things are working at the enterprise level, and this higher level of the industry it is working, and just Internet of Things, these are things are working at the taking information, data processing at these places it is working. Consumer level it is working. Okay, so in the next slide, if you see IIoT, Industrial Internet of Things, includes machine learning, big data technology, machine-to-machine interaction. Machine-to-machine interaction in the sense device to device. As I told you, if your refrigerator is out of milk, it has to send message to the machine at the milk vendor. It has to send. Okay, just you are not just the fridge itself, it is knowing that it is out of milk. Okay, so machine to machine communication, right? So there is no human intervention. You are not saying that device to send message, or you are not send. Machine to machine and the automation. IIoT is supported by huge amount of data collected from sensors. It is based on wrap and reuse. Okay, it is based on wrap and reuse approach rather than rip and replace. Okay, so here what I want to say here, okay, I told you that IIoT basically takes some features from the regular IoT and the conventional IoT, that is the conventional IoT, and some features from the industry 4.0, right? So whereas IoT focuses on consumer level services, and this IIoT is mainly focused at what is that, interface and enterprise. Okay, so we see here, I told you this is supported by huge amount of data collected from sensors, right? It is based on wrap and reuse. What is these two terms? Like we have wrap and reuse, right? So wrap and reuse, when we talk about IIoT, we are not talking about building a new system from scratch. Okay, we are talking about using the existing manufacturing systems existed at the industrial systems. Okay, in the industry already the existing systems are there, right? So we are just talking about the existing systems we are going to reform, but we are not going to talk about the wrap and reuse. Okay, so we are just wrapping them and reusing, that's it, but we are not going to build from the scratch. Okay, we are not just talking about that in the industrial internet of things. Okay, so here what we are doing, the existed systems, whatever the systems which are existed in the industries, we are going to wrap them with the sensors and the actuators and make things efficient. We are going to make the things efficient, and we are trying to re-engineer the existing systems and the processes, and but we are not going to build anything like brand new from the scratch. Okay, just we are going to reform, re-engineer the existing things by wrapping the things like sensors and actuators. Okay, so rather than rip and replace, like not from the brand new. Okay, so we see the introduction for first industrial this is the introduction for the industrial internet of things. So here if you see first industrial revolution, we see the how actually this industrial revolution has started, and we got a word, right? So industry 4.0 also. So how we got, so where actually the industry 4.0 comes, I'll tell you here. So first we have at the first industrial revolution, here what happened, mechanized production in the year of 1782, power generation and mechanical automations, these things were taken place. And next, coming to the second industrial revolution, mass production. Okay, industrialization, mass production in the sense industrialization, it has started at 1870. And next, here what happened, third industrial revolution has happened at the year 1969, internet evolution and automation. Okay, completely electric automation has taken place here. And fourth industrial revolution, here smart automation. Today what we are talking, that is, okay, today what stage we are, industry 4.0 figure it is actually. How here at the smart automation today we are at industry 4.0. This is actually called industry 4.0. So these are the, at each and every stage industry revolution has happened. So each and everything has a name, like first revolution, second revolution. Now what is the term we are calling industry 4.0 is at the smart automation, that is the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, that is the industry 4.0. Okay, so now here if you see this diagram, in this what is there, here the industry 4.0 we have, and so here if you see the name, second generation of internet evolution and the fourth industrial automation. Okay, so this is a fourth industrial automation, and it is combined with the second generation of internet evolution, and it is also, these two things are connected with the cloud computing. So this is the industrial internet of things. So it is so what are the things are there in this? it is having the industrial internet. So before I told you, it is having the features of 4.0 and IoT. So it is using the second generation of internet revolution and the fourth industrial revolution. Okay, so so those are all features. If you combine, that is the industrial internet of things. So now IIoT is a network of physical objects, systems, platforms, and the applications in the industries. These networks can communicate with each other, external environment, and other people. Also, it can connect. And the acquisition of IIoT has led to availability and affordability of sensors, processors, and other technology which facilitates capture and access to real-time information. Yeah, because in the IIoT we are using the sensors and actuators in this industry, so there is a possibility to get the real-time information, right? So next we have some requirements for this IIoT requirements. We have 4 requirements: hardware and software connectivity. Hardware and software has to be connected, and next cloud platform we need, and the big data analytics and application development platform we need. Okay, so these are the requirements for the IIoT. And next we have some of the requirements. Okay, apart from those things, we have some of the requirements here. If you see, access anything anywhere, access anything anytime anywhere. Okay, so the information from the industry we want to get. So the thing, there is access, there should be access, and the access, you can access the things from anywhere, anything you can access, and anytime it has to be accessible. Next thing, end-to-end security. In these things we have, if we are going with the IIoT, we have all these features like end-to-end security and the user experience. It provides a great user experience. And next, the transition to smart machines. Okay, by adding sensors and actuators, making machines smart. Next thing, we have assets management. Industrial assets can be managed efficiently here. Big data, because industries and everything are, I told you, real-time monitoring is possible, so it produces a huge amount of data. So the big data we get, right? So the big data analytics and handling things are required. So next, cloud. So the data, all things are going to be, this big data is all things are going to be stored in the cloud. So those are the different requirements needed and the different features of industrial internet of things. So here, IIoT requirements, if you see, again we are just continuing with that. So to have virtualized version of physical plant, this is a physical plant of industry. Okay, so to have virtualized version of physical plant, so through industrial internet of things systems, what we are trying to build is virtualized plant corresponding to a physical industrial. Okay, we are building virtualized plant in the sense, what we are doing, the data and the machines information, everything we are placing in a server. Okay, so those all things we are placing, the sensor readings, everything we are placing in a server. So we can say the virtualized plant, right? So physically you are at the plant, you know all the information. Even you are at the system, in front of the system, you are accessing the data through the server, so you can see the virtualized plant, what all the things are going on, you can know, right? This physical plant, different machines in this physical plant are fitted with the different sensors here. Okay, which through lot of data from the sensors, and from the virtualized physical plant, lot of different types of instructions can be sent to the physical plant as well. Okay, you can send some instructions to that particular one after taking the sensor readings to perform some action. So the actuators at the physical plant can perform the action. Okay, so when you got the readings from the sensors which are fitted at the physical plant. Design considerations. To use an IoT device for industrial applications, the following design objectives are to be considered. So energy, latency, throughput, scalability, topology, safety and security. Energy, time for which the IoT can be operated with the limited power supply, and latency here, time required to transmit the data, and throughput, maximum data transmitted across the network. scalability, number of devices are supported. Okay, the more number of devices has to support. And next, topology, communication among the devices, interoperability, such things. And next, safety and security, degree of safety and security of the applications. And next, we have differences. So we are talking IoT and industrial IoT, right? So we see the some differences between them. Okay, so IoT and the industrial Internet of Things. So focus on convenience of individuals, but it focuses on efficiency, safety and security of the operation. So such things at industries, we can say there no much safety and security. The people who are working in the mine and the healthcare and the steel industries, some different things are there, right? So there is no much security. So but when it coming to this industrial Internet of Things, it mainly focuses on the safety and security of the operation of that systems which are planted at the industries. And the M2M communication limited. So here M2M communication is more used, okay, extensively, and the applications are at consumer level, but here at the industry enterprise level. So if we see here, the next thing, differences between IoT and IIoT. So when we talk about, so you can see here M2M focus and the IoT focus, where this M2M focuses, means machine to machine communication, and the Internet of Things focus. If you see here, when we talk about M2M and the IoT, M2M here, it focuses on device to device communication. Here you are seeing this is mainly focusing from device to device communication. IoT focuses on overall system integration, but the IoT is focusing on overall system integration of the components, right? Like components like network connectivity, service enablement, and application and data and system integrations. So this kind of features it is mainly focusing. M2M and IoT both has a focus on other aspects, so like network and service. But when we are coming to these things, guys, 1 minute, my laptop battery is low. So IoT, it is focusing, both are focusing on different aspects, but M2M, it complete integration it is focusing. If you understand, you can see this arrow mark. Okay, arrow mark, it is starting for M2M is from devices to application, but for IoT it is starting from the network to system integration. So it is completely taking care. IoT is completely taking care of the system integration, complete system integration and other aspects like network and service enablement and application data. But M2M is mainly focusing on the devices and other aspects like network, service and application. Okay, so service management in IIoT. Service management actually it refers to the implementation and management of the quality and the services which meets the end users demand. And service is a collection, guys. I'm getting out of time, I think. God, I was thinking that I have time till 2:20. So okay, I just don't want to end the lesson because I have so many slides to discuss. So we'll see what happens. We'll see. I will move on for now. Quality of services which meets the end user's demand. Service is a collection of data and associated with behaviors to accomplish a particular function or feature of a device or portions of device. So service management, it can be two types here, like primary service, secondary service. The primary service, it is a basic service which are responsible for the primary node functions are termed as a primary service, and secondary service, that auxiliary functions which provide services to the primary service or secondary services. These all things are termed as a secondary services. And next we have some applications in IoT and industrial Internet of Things. The key application areas of industrial Internet of Things are manufacturing industry, healthcare service industry, and transportation and logistics, mining, firefighting. So different things are there. So different areas we can implement this industrial Internet of Things. Different industry sector, different sectors we can implement. So coming to the manufacturing industries, what happens? The devices, equipment, workforce, supply chain, and work platforms are integrated and connected to achieve smart production. This will lead to reduction in operational cost, improvement in the productivity of the worker, reduction in the injuries at the workplace, and resource optimization and waste reduction, and end-to-end automation. If you are coming to the healthcare industry, patients can be continuously monitored. These things we know from the case studies which we discussed previously. So due to the implemented on body sensors, improved treatment outcome, and the cost also reduced, and improved disease detection, improved accuracy, and improved drugs management. And next thing, transportation and logistics in this industry to improve safety and efficiency of transportation, intelligent transportation, like intelligent connected vehicles, we can say here. Okay, so this ITS provides vehicle to sensor connectivity, vehicle to vehicle connectivity, vehicle to internet connectivity, and vehicle to road infrastructure. So for this we use, I told you that there we are using wave protocol and the short distance range protocol. So dedicated short range communications, these things we are using. Okay, this is one protocol which we use for connecting these vehicles. Okay, so transportation and logistics. Here we have IIoT scenario. The physical objects are provided with the barcodes and RFID tags. Hence, a real-time monitoring of the status and the location of the physical test. I think you may heard in the vaccination distribution started in the government sector, they placed each and every vaccine. So because it needs a high security, right? There may be a chance of attacks or something. So they each and every vaccine bottle they fitted with this RFID tags, some barcodes, this technology they used, and because they can track every vaccine. Okay, I think you may heard in the news, right? So this thing can be possible, real-time monitoring of the status and location of the physical objects from the destination to the origin. So they can track the security and the privacy of the data should be maintained. So mining to prevent accidents inside the mines, like we can use RFID and Wi-Fi and other wireless technologies are used, which provides an early warning of any disaster, monitor air quality, and detects the presence of poisonous gases and oxygen level inside the mines. Okay, so we have next thing, firefighting. Sensor networks, RFID tags are used to perform like automatic diagnosis, early warning of disaster, emergency rescue, and provides real-time monitoring, and it improves the public security. Guys, okay, I'll take examples of IIoT after this. Anything is there? Yeah. So with examples of IIoT, examples of these are unmanned aerial vehicles to inspect oil pipelines, monitoring food safety and using sensors, and minimizing workers' exposure to noise, chemicals, and other hazardous gases. Unmanned marine vehicle which can collect data up to a year without fuel or crew. So these are just some of the examples which can be done using industrial Internet of Things. So next things we discuss later. So I'm getting out of time, right? So okay, for now you give me attendance. So what's better? What to do? I wish I could have 2 more classes, like 1 more class also extended, but you have other subject, right? It's okay. This is, yeah. Give me your attendance. 501,
Present, ma'am.
503,
Present, ma'am.
505,
Present, ma'am.
509.
Ma'am,